Welcome to our channel, where you can update the latest, exciting and unforgettable developments in the series Beyond the Gates. In the special episode aired on Wednesday, July 23rd, the storm continues to blow away all the masks, revealing secrets buried for many years, pushing the characters into unpredictable situations. Truth, conspiracy and the darkness of the past intertwine, causing all beliefs to crumble in the blink of an eye. When night falls and the whole house falls silent, Jacob quietly enters the family office, which used to be the space of power of his father, the man Jacob admired and considered an ideal role model throughout his childhood. However, the vague urge in his heart, along with the unusual details he recently discovered, urges him to find out about things that have never been said. With patience and care, Jacob groped for the old painting hanging on the dark wooden wall, gently removing it to reveal a wall-mounted safe that only those who truly understood every corner of this room would know. His hands trembled as he turned each code, the mechanical sound echoing coldly in the quiet space. When the safe door swung open, the first thing that caught his eye was not money or valuables, but a file carefully wrapped in old cloth and frayed rope, proving that it had been hidden for a long time. He carefully removed the outer covering, and each page inside seemed to exhale the vapors of a dark memory that had never been revealed. Jacob held his breath as he skimmed through the lines. Each word seemed to stab deep into his consciousness, causing his heart to tighten with each beat. The file referred to a strange disappearance that had occurred many years earlier, a case that had never been mentioned in the family, never been reported in the newspapers or appeared in any public records. What shocked him most was that the main suspect's name was printed in bold at the top of the first page. His biological father. Jacob couldn't believe his eyes. His whole world seemed to collapse around him, his memories of a father who had always been gentle, virtuous, and full of ideals suddenly became distorted to a terrifying degree. He continued to read, trembling, as the details in the file painted a portrait he had never known of his father, a man who had been suspected of being directly involved in the disappearance of a woman named Claire. The timeline, relationships, circumstantial evidence, and schematic drawings tucked into the same file suggested that an elaborate plan had been hatched long before, and that the case's long silence was not due to a lack of evidence, but because someone had taken the initiative to bury it. Jacob felt a chill run down his spine, as the thought that his entire childhood might have been built on the foundation of a giant lie became clearer. While Jacob was reeling from the shock and confusion of the dark truth in his family, in another place, Leslie, a powerful and sharp woman, was lying quietly on the hospital bed, her eyes half closed and her body motionless as if she had not yet recovered from the serious accident. However, inside that weak shell was a mind that was still operating strongly, coldly and calculatingly to the point of fear. Leslie was not helpless, and was not a victim. The accident that everyone thought had almost killed her was actually just the surface of a much larger conspiracy. From the phone hidden under her pillow, Leslie continued to operate her plan. Each coded message sent was a hidden command, activating those loyal to her to carry out pre-calculated actions. No one knew, but the network Leslie had built had penetrated every corner of the system, from doctors, nurses, administrators to businessmen, lawyers, and even her own family members. The accident was a warning that someone wanted her to stay silent forever, but Leslie was not someone to be easily subdued. On the contrary, that attack only made her more ruthless and fierce in protecting her power and secrets. She had survived bloody games, betrayed and been betrayed, built and destroyed empires with just a nod. And this time, whoever dared to strike first would pay a heavy price. In another corner of the story, Chelsea is slowly falling into an invisible trap that she has no idea she has entered. Her seemingly peaceful life begins to show cracks when Madison, her close friend and the person who has stood by her through many crises, warns her that she is being followed. At first, Chelsea brushes off all concerns, thinking that Madison is just suspicious and haunted by what happened in the past. But when an anonymous envelope appears on her doorstep the next morning, all her composure is immediately swept away. The envelope has no sender's name, just a thick, smooth piece of ash-gray paper. Inside is a terrifyingly clear printed photo and image of Chelsea and Martin, on a night that should have been kept secret forever. They were standing close to each other, their eyes unmistakably intimate, surrounded by the obvious backdrop of the hotel where they met. What frightened Chelsea the most was not the photo, but the fact that someone had been there. Had followed her, had taken a picture of that moment without her knowing. The sender had left no threats or demands, and that silence made it all the more terrifying. Chelsea felt like she was living in a glass cage, where every action, every step could be recorded, judged, exploited. She began to suspect everyone, from the gentle neighbor, the familiar cafe staff to even the closest people. Anyone could be the one following her. And what was scarier? She didn't know if their goal was just to intimidate her or to prepare for a bigger attack. As the seemingly disparate pieces begin to come together, a picture emerges, a picture of a dark and elaborate plan that has been brewing for a long time, one in which every character is a pawn controlled by an invisible hand. Jacob is faced with the truth that his father may be a murderer, and he holds the key to exposing or burying that secret forever. Leslie runs a far-reaching revenge plot from her hospital bed, luring traitors into her traps step by step. Chelsea faces a deadly psychological game where her enemies lurk in the shadows, using silence and observation to suffocate her every hour. Little do all three know that they are approaching a crossroads, where every secret, every lie, every action will be exposed. And when that time comes, only those strong enough, ruthless enough and smart enough will be able to survive and come out of the darkness. Keep following our channel to update the latest and most thrilling episodes of Beyond the Gates. Don't forget to follow and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any shocking developments in the next episodes.